This is Pure 1, Chapter 5.4, where we continue with straight lines. This time, we look into length and area. The distance between two coordinates could be found using distance formula. Sounds fancy, but actually it's just Pythagoras. So essentially, imagine you've got 2 points in here. Okay, let's make it up. For example, 3, 4, and I don't know, 7, 9. Then to work out distance of this line, you could essentially make a right angle triangle from these 2 points, like you did in GCSE, and work out the vertical distance, 9 minus 4, which is 5, and the horizontal distance, 7 minus 3, which is 4. And then what you can do is just do the Pythagoras. So d equals square root of 5 squared plus 4 squared, which is, if my mental maths doesn't fail me, that should be root 41. Well, anyway, I know I'm good at mental maths. Next one. Then what about if we want to generalize it? So how do we generalize it? Well, same thing. Instead of using these 2 points, we use x1, y1 for the first coordinate and x2, y2 for the coordinate. Therefore, the distance will equal to square root of the vertical distance. So the vertical distance would be y2 minus y1. And the horizontal distance will be x2 minus x1. So if we're using the same format like the previous example above, we know it will be y2 minus y1 squared plus x2 minus x1 squared. All right, or sometimes you can write x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. But that's essentially is the distance formula. Okay, right. So if you're happy with the distance formula, have a go at the practice question 1. Pause the video, have a go at the question, and actually question 2 as well. Pause video, and when you're ready for the answer, you can press play. Here are the answers for question 1 and 2. Okay, A, B, and question 2 is 6 and minus 8. If you got it right, well done, move on. If you don't, let's have a look. So question A, what you do is the distance equals square root of, so 3 minus 2 squared plus 2 minus 4 squared, x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And then make sure you do the minus 2 or do the plus. Let the calculator do the work for you. You get root 29. Okay, part B. Slightly more trickier, but it's just cert form. Make sure you put the brackets in the right position and do the signs carefully. So x2 minus x1. So minus 2 root 2 minus 1 squared plus y2 minus. Now, when you minus this cert form in here, you get 2 options. One is you put a bracket around it and make sure you close the second bracket when you square it, or you can do 3 minus 1 minus root 2, change the sign altogether. Okay, and just put the whole thing in your calculator, you get 1.923 SF. That's the distance. If you really want a unit, it could be units, I guess. The unit is just literally just unit, 1.92 units. Question 2, the distance between the 2 points is root 65. So find 2 possible values of x. So the question wants you to set up an equation using the distance formula. So x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared equal the distance, okay, square root. And then what you do is you square both sides to get rid of square root. So the square root cancel out. So I'm left with x plus 1 squared. Y minus 13 is 4. 4 squared is 16 equals 65. Take away the 65. Oh, actually, when you expand a bracket in here, so you get x squared plus 2x plus 1. Subtract 65, you get minus 48. I see a quadratic, so therefore I'm going to leave it out. Oh, actually, minus 49. Minus 49 plus 1 means x squared plus 2x minus 48 equals 0. So you use a calculator, you get x equals 6 or minus 8. And these are and that's the answer. All right. Example. Next one. A line L1 has the equation 4x minus y equals 0. Another line L2 has the equation 2x plus 3y minus 21 equals 0. Given that line 1, line 2 intersect. So hopefully by now you should be able to recognize the word intersect means they want you to use simultaneous equation. Right? So find the coordinates of A. So as I said, simultaneous equation 4x minus y equals 0. Or 2x plus 3y minus 21 equals 0. Now, you can either use your method to show your answer, or you can use a calculator. So here I've got a calculator. What you can do is you can go on menu. Can I make it bigger? Yep. Go on menu and then A, equation function. If you're using CG50, the same thing. It will be equation function tab. And then simultaneous equation. The unknowns, there are X and Y, so two unknowns. Now, when you put in the coefficient, be careful, you have to rearrange it correctly. So for the first one is 4x minus 1y equals 0. Second equation will be 2x plus 3y. Now the minus 21 has to be on the other side of equal sign, so it'll be a positive 21. Put in the calculator, you get x equals 3 over 2 and y equals 6. So x equals 3 over 2 and y equals 6. So in exam, you can just show this. Okay, for a linear simultaneous equation, the mark scheme does not require you to show any steps in between, so you can just use a calculator. Or if you really want to do manually, you can make y the subject, so 4x equals y, substitute into the y, so 4x equals 0, so 12, 14x equals 21, x equals 1.5, or 3 over 2, when you sub into y, so y equals 4 times 1.5, which is 6, so you get the same answer, right? Okay, so the coordinates of A, so coordinates of A is 3 over 2, 6. Part B, work out the area of triangle AOB, where L2 meets B at x-axis. Now, again, you have to remember what we've done about meets at the x-axis. Meets the x-axis means y equals 0. So you need to be able to extract this information from the question. Okay, so what we can do is, first thing first, we're going to, when y equals 0, we're going to sub y equals 0 into line 2. So 2x plus 3 times 0 minus 21 equals 0. 2x equals 21, x equals 10.5. So when x equals 10.5, then, it's time to, we can draw a triangle out to see how we can work out the area. So AOB, O is the origin, B is 10.50, and A is 1.56. So that's the triangle. And to find the area of triangle, half base times height, that's the base, 10.5. The height is that one. We can use the y coordinates of the point A, so 6. So the area equals to half base times height, half base times height. And you put in a calculator, or you can do it manually, or mentally in my head. Let me think. I'm definitely not reading the answer. 31.5. Yep, definitely not reading the answer. That's the answer, right? Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Have to be right. Right, and here comes practice question 3. Okay, pause the video, have a go at the question. Okay, when you're ready for the answer, you can press play. So this is the answer. Okay, the full proof. So to show a trapezium, I did tell you a hint, has one pair of parallel lengths. So to show they're parallel, work out the gradient. And they're different length. So the parallel lengths have different distance. So what you have to show is there's one pair of parallel lengths, which is what we did. Okay, so we found AB is actually parallel to CD. And then now the reason, even though draw ABCD looks like AB would be parallel to CD, however, they could have a different orientation. For example, it could be, I don't know, just make it up, ABCD in here. Then you would think AD would be parallel to CB. So you have to be careful with the orientation you drew it. I just lucky this time. I got it right. So what I did was I actually wasn't lucky because I actually tried all the other lengths to work out the gradient to make sure they're not equal each other. So there's only one pair. That's right. And to work out distance, now if you're new to this way of writing, two straight lines like a bar, okay, like a prism bar, is called a magnitude. Okay, so it's called a magnitude. The magnitude of a straight line is the distance. Okay, so distance. So when you write two lines, that means distance. The distance of AB is 2 root 34, and the distance of CD is 3 root 34. So you can see these two lines are different lengths. And because AB is parallel to CD, and the distance of AB does not equal the distance of CD, therefore ABCD is a trapezium. I think this was one of the exam question before. I think there's 4 marks. Okay. Right, have a look. Again, another practice question about distance and area. So pause the video, have a go at the question. When you're ready for the answer, you can press play. So just want to show you the final answer, because if you got A incorrect, you would have got B incorrect. Anyway, so here's the final answer. If you got right, well done. That's the end of lesson for you. But if you don't, let's have a look. A straight line passes through the points 4 minus 3 minus 2, 5. Find a straight line of the equation. Give your answer in the form of ax plus by plus c equals 0. Again, the equation of straight line. We have learned y2, not y2, sorry, y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. To make this recipe, we need two ingredients, not the pickles, the gradient and the point. Okay, have we got a point? Yes, we got two. We can use either 4 minus 3 or minus 2, 5. Let's say we choose 4 minus 3. I'll just, for those who are skipping the video, I just want to show you all minus 2, 5, either one of them. The gradient we can work out. So the gradient, we need to work out here. Gradient equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Put in the calculator, I think you would get minus 4 over 3. Am I right? 5 minus 3, 8. 8, yep, 8 over 6 is minus 4 over 3. Okay, so therefore we can use the formula now. Y minus y1, which is minus 3, equals mx minus x1. So left-hand side is y plus 3. Now you can expand the bracket like this, but because when I look at the question wants me given the form of an integer. So I'm going to do a smart move in here, which is multiply the 3 over to left-hand side. So it becomes 3 bracket y plus 3 equals negative 4 x minus 4. Just expand the bracket on both sides. Okay, and then bring everything on one side. Then you should get 4x plus 3y minus 7 equals 0. Okay, that's part A. Part B. The line crosses the x-axis. Again, crosses the x-axis. Y equals 0. Okay, at point P, and y-axis at point Q, so x equals 0. So let's do it one by one. Part B. Okay, so when y equals 0. So I sub into the equation I found in part A, 4x plus 3 times 0 minus 7 equals 0. Then I got x equals 7 over 4. So the coordinates of P is 7 over 4, 0. When x equals 0, 4 times 0 plus 3y minus 7 equals 0. 3y equals 7, y equals 7 over 3. So Q is 0, 7 over 3. Find the area of POQ. So let's draw the triangle. So O is here. P is 7 over 4, 0. That's here. And that's P. That's Q in here. So you can see triangle is a right angle triangle. So that's 7 over 3. So area equals to half base times height. And that gives you 49 over 24. And that's the answer. Okay. That's the end of the lesson as well.